Yo, what's going on? Your boy back at it again with another hot review. Drams on deck. Today, we got us a good one. We got the Glen Scotty double cask. Yes, sir. This one right here is about at 46%, and it is a good one right here. I actually had several bottles of this. This is actually from the Campbelltown section of Scotland, and this is the box that it comes in right here. Just a decent box, has a little background effect in it. So this bottle at 46%, it's double cask, and this box, and this dram in particular, I've had this for, I want to say maybe 8 months, maybe close to 8 months. I've had this one. This is one that I actually been enjoying for years, and this you get this very reasonably priced. It's roughly around $60 or so. Give or take, it may be 60, 70, but in that price range. This one right here is double cask, as it says. So you have some sherry casks, the Pedro Jimenez in particular, and then you have the American oak. So it spends half its life in the American oak, the other half in the PX. So this particular one right here, I like it because it's pretty well balanced. If you can see the color on this here, has a very nice amber color to it, and like I said, I've been drinking this one for some years, so it's definitely a good one. And I will say that it's not always available at every store. Now, every liquor store is not going to have Glen Scotty, so it's one that you see from maybe depending on certain regions, certain sections may have more than others. I used to live in Pennsylvania. They had it in their location all throughout Pennsylvania. And for the most part, you can find it all throughout. I live in Southern California, all throughout here. So certain states may not have this, and certain may. But it's not as common as like Johnny Walker or Hennessy or Macallan's. Those are staples that you will find at pretty much at any corner or any major mid-level liquor store. This one right here, you won't see at necessarily every liquor store. So the availability may be in question depending upon your location. But if you do see it, if you never have it, I think it's a good dram. And I will say that this is something I don't think I've ever seen it at a high-end restaurant. So something like this, you probably have, if you go to a nice restaurant, most, I would say steakhouses, like high-end steakhouses, like in your Morton, stuff like that, your Roof Chris, they should typically have, a nice assortment of different spirits. But this one, I do a lot of fine dining, and I've never seen it at any establishment. So, so certain things that I will say try before you buy. This one, I don't think you're going to be able to do so unless you go to like at least in our area in San Diego, they have a whiskey establishment that has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different whiskeys. Though they are exorbitantly priced, it is available. So if you have that available, you can maybe find this. But outside of that, you're not going to really find that at a store or at a restaurant. So I'm going to jump right on the nose and see what we have. Wow. This one I'm picking up a very nice hint of the sherry, as I said, it's the PX, but then I'm also picking up some sweetness, like some brown sugars, like a candy yam type of a smell. Everything I'm picking up is very, very sweet. It has a very nice alcohol nose to it as well. But it's pleasant though. It's not like abrasive or off-putting. Yeah, sugar, sherry, vanilla, like a candy yam, little citrus, like an apple, all over on the nose. It's pretty nice actually, and it's one of those certain spirits have a faint smell, at least to my nose. I don't have a bloodhound type of nose, but there are certain spirits that have a very faint smell. This one is very nice. It's very pleasant, and you can pick up the nose pretty well, at least in this glass. So I really enjoy this particular nose. Nose is not something I really get off into. I do it because people do want to know, but me personally, when I buy spirits, I don't care too much for the nose. It's not a big deal for me. To me, taste is king. So I'm more into like the look of it, in the taste of it, and then the nose would be last. So be that as it may, we're gonna jump around this palette and see what we got. Mm. You get a nice sweet and a little bit of oak spice on this. Jump one more sip before I go into further detail. This one, you pick up the extra sweetness from the PX. PX is sweeter than normal entry-level sherry, or maybe even more so than Oloroso. It's a little bit sweeter, PX. So you pick up that little bit of tang, that sweetness, but then you get the little bit of spiciness from the oak, the American oak. You get the woodsy. So you get the wood, you get a little bit of vanilla, you get a lot of the sherry. So if you ever had PX or Oloroso sherry, you know what I'm talking about. You get that. But I swear, you get like a nice, and I say it's a good way, it's like a bitter oak. But it's good though, it's good. It's not bad. You get like a little hint of a bitter oak on the mid palate. And then right after that, you get a lot, I mean, even before that, you get a lot of sherry. Like the sweetness, like the extra sweetness of the PX is what you get. So you get, you know, the sherry, you get vanilla, you get the bitter oak, you get all that, like, and it has a nice, decent amount of viscosity to it. So it's a little oily, a little bit, not heavily, but a little bit. So it coats your palate pretty well. And it's 46%. So it has a nice little medium punch to it. Nothing heavy, but just like a little medium punch to it. And it's very, very palatable. It's very good. I like it. So you get spicy oak sweetness. It's good. It's good. Let me take this one right here is 46%. I don't really typically water it down, but for this particular review, I'm going to pour just a little bit of water in here to see if that brings out a little bit more, any extra flavors, more of the oak, more of the sugar, anything of that nature. And just so you know, this is first fill bourbon barrels, and it has obviously the Pedro Jimenez. So I'm not sure what part of the world the sherry cask came from, but it just specifies Pedro Jimenez. So, but hey, it is first fill bourbon, so you get, like I said, I definitely pick up the oak on there. The oak, there's no smoke on it, so you do get like a little bitter oak. There's no smoke. And then you get a nice punch of medium sweetness all throughout there. Very good. Very good, my better. So we pour some water in here. Let's see how that changes it anyway. Tastes pretty same to me. It's not much difference. Put a couple extra drops of water. Tastes very similar. Obviously, if you keep going, I'm quite sure maybe you would drown it out some. But to me, a couple drops of water didn't change the complexity in any way. You get, like I said, the bitter oak. You get that sherry. You get the vanilla. You get a nice little mouthful full of that syrupy consistency. It's very good. It's very good. This one right here, if I had to compare it to something else, like if you didn't find this, what else could you compare it to? The only thing I can think that you compare it to is the Macallan double cask. The Mac 12 double cask has some similar qualities of this. It's not dead on, but this is PX, and PX is not used in the double oak, but it gets you in the realm, in that ballpark of the taste profile though. So this one has a little bit more sharper wood and more sharper sweetness on this, but it's in that wheelhouse. So if you ever had the Mac 12 double cask, then this could be a kinship or a cousin to it, a distant cousin, because like I said, it's sharper oak and sharper. When I say sharper means more prevalent. That bitter oak is a little bit more prevalent, as well as the PX, because the PX is a little bit more sweeter than the normal sherry cask. So that being said, it's more pronounced, the flavors, as in the oak, the sherry influence is more pronounced on this one, than, in my opinion, than in that one. But I will say the Mac 12 double cask is very balanced. That's a great gem in it, on its own too. So anyway, that's the wheelhouse that kind of puts you in your mind in the mind frame of that. If I had to rate this 1 to 10, 10 being the very best, I would go with a solid 8, man. This is a solid dram. I'll give it an 8 because it's well priced, it's well balanced, it has nice smooth oak sweetness, vanilla, brown sugar, very small brown sugar, but nice sweetness on the sherry PX. Only thing I can knock it on, and I ain't gonna say not that it's fault, it's availability. You're just not gonna see that everywhere. But the price and the flavors are on point. There's a lot of people who are snoozing on this right here. So it's my job to keep you woke, if you listening, that is. So this right here is a sleeper. People snoozing on this one right here. So this one right here is a good dram. I think another dram that people snoozing on is the Old Bound Little Bay. I reviewed that a while ago, and that one's another awesome dram that people in the know about these drams. But if you're just a casual, whiskey guy, you're not gonna know about those. So this one right here is a good one. It's a sleeper that's under the radar that you don't see or hear about much, but unless you tried it, you know what I'm saying? So if you never had this before, you like those flavor profiles, check it out. It's definitely a good one. I don't think you'll be disappointed, unless you're just a super ridiculous peat head that just there's people who just like peat monsters. That's all they do. They don't like sweetness. They don't like that. They just like smoke. So if you're a smoke guy, like ridiculously on that level, then, then that might not be your warehouse, because if you're a peat guy. But I try to keep myself well-rounded and try things that outside of my normal preference, because I think it's good. It keeps you more well-rounded. So anyway, it's gonna be a solid 8 for me. The Glen Scotty double cask from it's a classic Campbelltown from the Scotland. Like I said, roughly around $60. Good dram, 8 for me. Please check it out. And then I'll thank you for everyone who's been subscribing, who's been hitting me in the comments. I thank you for your support, and I always reply back. So if there's any questions or concerns, anything else you want to see me review, let me know, and I will hit more reviews. Got more heat coming your way. Stay tuned. Drams on deck. Yes, sir.